Mimikajiri-onna. A young woman was walking through Shibuya when she heard a strange voice call out from behind her. "Are your ears pierced?" When she turned around, a strange woman was standing there, looking at the ground. Thinking it strange, the woman answered truthfully, "Yes, they are." The moment she did, the woman bit her ear off, piercing and all. This legend has roots in the white ear string legend and started making the rounds during the 1990s. The white ear string legend involves a young girl getting her ears pierced to celebrate graduating high school, but a few days later, notices that it's now itchy and inflamed. A white piece of string appears to be hanging from it, and when she pulls it, everything goes black. Turns out she pulled out her optic nerve. That was, for some reason, hanging out of her ear after getting it pierced. It's a warning not to pierce your ears and damage the precious body given to you by your parents. Now, Mimi means ear, Kajiri means to bite, and Onna means woman. So, she's the ear-biting woman, although her true name is supposedly Kaoru. How normal. She got her ears pierced and then fell victim to the white ear string legend, pulling the string she found dangling from her own ear piercing and going blind. This drove her mad, and so she trolls Shibuya looking for women with pierced ears to take her revenge on. As you do. Fumikiri-san. This is a story I heard in junior high. It's limited to people who are married or in relationships, and the woman who appears in this urban legend is called Fumikiri-san. Her real name is unknown. Fumikiri-san's husband cheated on her. She took her husband along to the railway tracks in an attempt to kill them both, but he resisted and she alone fell onto the tracks. Her body was cut up into pieces, all of which were eventually recovered, but for the ring finger of her left hand. Now, only those who are married or in a relationship can ask her spirit whether their partner is cheating or not. They must stand in front of the railway crossing and ask, "Fumikiri-san, Fumikiri-san, is your partner's name cheating on me?" A woman missing her ring finger will appear and say, "Is this the person you wish to spend the rest of your life with? If not, leave. Otherwise, I will kill you." If you answer, "Yes, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person," and the person isn't cheating, she will answer, "May you be happy together." But if the person is cheating, they will be killed at a railway crossing, and you will also be killed for doubting them in the first place. This seems to be a fairly recent urban legend, and there's not a huge amount of information available about her online. Fumikiri in Japanese means railway crossing, which is why she appears and kills her victims there. At first glance, she's very similar to Teke or Kashima-san, another legend that takes place at railway tracks with a woman killed by a train. This legend is a little more specific, however, because Fumikiri-san can only be summoned to confirm whether your partner is cheating on you. And in the end, the only way to survive an encounter with her is if you truly love your partner and said partner is not cheating on you. Probably easier to just ask your partner outright than die regardless of whether you've done anything wrong or not. Running ghost. The students of Dorm H at a university in T-City, Ibaraki Prefecture, have recently been troubled by something. That something is a ghost. The ghost looks like a marathon runner and runs from one end of the dorms to the other, going straight through the walls. People have taken to calling it the running ghost. It treads on students as it runs through the dorm, and many wake up in surprise at being stepped on. Come to think of it, wasn't there a member of the track team who died right before reaching the finishing line of a marathon? That's gotta be him. After hearing the above, one student had an idea. The next night, everyone gathered in his room. He prepared a finish line, and everyone held ribbons to cheer. Then, finally, the late-night running ghost appeared. The ghost slipped through the wall as usual, and when the students cut the tape, the ghost appeared satisfied and disappeared. When some of the students asked why the ghost had disappeared, the young man who came up with the idea answered, "What are you saying? He died before reaching the finishing line, right? That's why we cut the tape for him. That was the goal he never got to reach while alive." The university in question is Tsukuba University in Ibaraki Prefecture. Dorm H refers to Hirasuna Dorm, one of several dorms used by Tsukuba students. Tsukuba University has a wide variety of urban legends surrounding it, but this is one of the more famous ones. Ironically, while this legend is well known to those outside of the university, many students claim to have never heard it before. It's unclear where this legend originated from. Some have surmised that the story was originally a regular ghost tale that became so popular it was placed in Tsukuba University to give it authenticity. The university already has a bunch of other legends, so what's one more to the mix? There's also an interesting after story, which mentions someone from the dorms accidentally saying, "Ready, go!" which causes the running ghost to appear again. At least they know how to deal with him this time. Gomiko-san. In the mountains of N Prefecture, there exists a woman named Gomiko-san. She roams the mountains late at night, and if you happen to run into her, she will scream, "Don't throw me out!" She'll then cut you into pieces, throw your remains in a trash bag, and then dispose of you. Gomiko-san first appeared on the internet in the early 2000s, and all we know of her is what's stated in the legend. Where she's from is left vague on purpose, but considering it starts with N, it can only be Niigata, Nagano, Nara, or Nagasaki. These prefectures are spread out across most of Japan, so she could be anywhere. And isn't that the charm of urban legends? Although many internet users place her in either Niigata or Nagano. It may not be immediately apparent to English speakers, but Gomiko-san's name is a pun on her MO. Gomi means rubbish, and ko is a common suffix for girls' names. She is literally trash woman, and she disposes of people by cutting them up, putting them in a rubbish bag, and then throwing them away. Later editions make it supposedly impossible to run away from her, unless, if you're in a group, you split up and run in different directions. This will leave one person subject to certain murder and trash disposal, while the others escape. Presumably to live the rest of their lives with the knowledge that they abandoned their friend to an actual trash woman in the mountains. Interestingly, Gomiko-san features in the movie Cursed Local Urban Legends, Hokkaido/Tohoku chapter, as an urban legend from Hokkaido. The movie came out in 2011 and gives no explanation as to why Gomiko-san is suddenly a Hokkaido legend when She very specifically comes from a prefecture that starts with N. Still, if you wish to watch a found footage film of people getting cut up and placed in trash bags, Gomiko-san has you covered. The granny who sells legs. One day after school, a young boy was approached by an old lady on his way home. "Do you need legs? Do you need legs?" The boy tried to ignore her and walk past, but she was unexpectedly persistent. "Do you need legs? Do you need legs?" she asked him over and over. "I don't need any legs," the boy screamed in refusal. "Ah!" A scream rang throughout the street in the dim evening light. Hearing it, several people came running, but what they saw took their breath away. A young boy was crouching on the street, his legs plucked clean off. The granny who sells legs is a fairly typical yokai, and may bring to mind images of Kashima-san, who also asks people if they need legs. In both cases, if the answer is no, you'll find your legs cut off. You did say you didn't need legs, after all. This strange old lady approaches people, particularly children, on the street as it's getting dark and asks, "Do you need legs?" as though she has some to sell. Of course, nobody wants to buy legs from a crazy old lady on the street, so when you answer no, she takes that the literal way and plucks your legs off. If, however, you decide to answer yes, then she will forcibly attach a third leg to your body. It's probably best not to imagine how or where. As is common with yokai, neither answer ends well. There is only one way to escape the granny who sells legs. When she asks, "Do you need legs?" the correct answer is, "No, I don't. But why don't you visit so-and-so-san?" By giving her somebody else's name and recommending she visit them, you'll be able to escape. Of course, the person you tell her to visit shouldn't be someone you like, because the same fate will befall them as well. This legend became popular during the 1990s, although these days it's almost faded into obscurity. There is a similar legend called the granny who gives legs, that is essentially the same story, but with the main difference being that this granny targets children who actually want legs. Some versions also have her appearing in the fourth floor toilets of various schools, dragging a wagon behind her, presumably full of the legs she's stolen from children. In some stories, she also wears a large cape on her back, and underneath it, she hides the legs she's taken. This version likely came about because of the common sight of old women bent over, especially in the countryside. These women tend to suffer from osteoporosis after years of poor nutrition during and after the war, and after years of hard work in the fields. It's not much of a stretch to see how a child might see such a woman in the dim evening light and wonder what exactly is hidden under her coat. Some versions of the legend even give the granny who sells legs a partner, the grandpa who sells arms. You probably don't have to guess how that one came around. It's unknown how the legend of this particular yokai, or yurei, depending on who you talk to, came about, but it's likely she started as a joke legend, because the idea of someone literally taking your legs when you say you don't need any is both terrifying and funny. But what did you guys think of this one? Are there any other urban legends you'd like me to explore? Let me know in the comments below, and if you'd like to help support this channel so you can see more content like this, please consider hitting that join button down below as well. Every bit of support really helps. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you again next time.